my name is David Warmback. I was born in Durban and grew up effectively in Kloof. I went to Kloof Junior School and then Kloof Senior Primary School. We then moved to Westville and I did my high school at Westville Boys High. I was there from 1972 to 1978. Following that, I went to the University of Natal, as it then was. I enrolled for a BA. I was quite keen to do teaching initially, and I did a BA with teaching subjects. Towards the end of the BA, I felt I was not particularly made out to be a teacher. I had a teaching loan, which is obviously quite useful. I also realized I was in a position through doing some waiting and that sort of to pay back the teaching loan and to sponsor legal studies. So I decided to do an LLB. Because I had done no law credits in my BA, I needed to do a 3-year LLB, which I completed after 3 years. So I did the 2-year BA, the 3-year LLB. And then, the second to last year of my varsity period, my dad died unexpectedly at 50, and that put quite a strain on the family at that stage. But I finished, as I say, after 5 years. And then after national service, which we had to do in those days, I obviously looked for a position. My first job, if you're looking for an informal job, before my formal job, but my very first job was as a cashier at Checkers at Overport City, as it then was. So I was very keen to start earning some pocket money. And in fact, the weekend that I turned 16, I was employed as a cashier at Checkers on a Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. I used to jump on the bus after school in Westville, head down to Tollgate Bridge. I then ran along Northridge Road to get to Checkers by 3 o'clock. And then I did a stint from 3 o'clock to about 7 o'clock as a cashier. In those days, it was a lot more work. You had to stand. It was before the days of electronic barcodes and things like that. You had to enter all the prices quite correctly, and I did that for some time. So that was my first informal job. Paid the princely sum of 98 cents an hour, which was quite good money back in those days as a student. I'm an equity partner at Shepstone Wylie Attorneys. I started in 1989 and have worked my way up from obviously what was then called an article clerk. They're now called candidate attorneys, but one works one's way up in a legal firm over time. And I'm currently one of the 2 senior equity partners in the corporate and commercial department. There are 11 of us professionals in our team, one who practices in Johannesburg remotely. So essentially, it's providing corporate and commercial legal services to clients of the firm. So I'm giving advice, we're seeking solutions for clients, we're negotiating and drafting various commercial agreements, including those relating to mergers and acquisitions, sales and lease agreements, shareholders agreements, property sales and leases, joint ventures agreements, and such like. Given that my speciality is property-related commercial work, which is essentially my background. So I did spend about 12 years in the property and conveyancing department of the firm. And then in 1999, I moved up into the commercial department, where I have been since then. So also providing obviously leadership, input, marketing. We're also training juniors from time to time. So yeah, those are my main responsibilities and position. Probably it's not related to law, although over the 37 years I've been at Shepstone Wylie, I have had, I've been involved in some very exciting projects and things like that. But what has made me quite proud quite recently in my position as Honorary British Consul for KZN, at the end of last year, I featured on the King Charles' 2024 New Year's Honours List, and I was awarded an MBE effectively for my services assisting British nationals in South Africa. So I've been doing this position with my legal work for about 13 years now, and I've really enjoyed it. But as I say, that certainly was a highlight, and I am still waiting to receive the honour, which I will be called upon to do, but things have been quite busy in the UK. And I was also told that they're a little bit behind because of COVID. But yeah, that was quite exciting. I think never stop learning. I think particularly in my profession, you can never stop learning, which keeps the profession interesting and challenging. The law is obviously always changing through not only through new and changed legislation, but also through court judgments which are coming out all the time, which creates legal precedent, which we need to keep up to. Also dealing with a variety of different clients and their businesses. In order to properly draft commercial agreements, one needs a good understanding of the client's business. And again, one is learning all the time. Also about people, how best to deal with them, how to interact with them. Yeah. I thought carefully about this. No specific event comes to mind, but I think one of the most challenging issues in our profession, I think business generally, is managing your time properly, including a split between time at business and home time. Invariably in a busy legal practice, one has a number of clients, a number of matters, and you're not dealing with one client, one matter at a time, you're dealing with a number of them. We often work under intense pressure, particularly when there are large transactions which need to be closed within a certain period. You're dealing with a number of parties, a number of other attorneys, you're dealing internally with professionals and support staff in the firm. And yeah, just managing that is really a difficult thing. One has to certainly manage clients' expectations quite substantially and workflow. And it's not really something I don't think you can ever fully overcome. It's just an ongoing problem, as I say, particularly with volume, I think, in a legal practice, but I'm sure that's the same for any business. You need to recognize performance. You need to give positive feedback to people when it's due. You've got to keep communicating. You need to give encouragement. You need to get people to work together. You know, we often have quite tight deadlines. You know, you can't do all the work on your own. You need the backup of your good professional staff and support staff. So you need to identify, and you've got to motivate well-performing staff, also for promotion. And then just generally, we always obviously looking at new opportunities in the practice. We're targeting new clients. We've got to keep up marketing efforts and profiling specialists. Roger Federer, a fabulous sportsman, an unbelievably long career, which has just ended sadly, an incredible record of achievements, a fabulous work ethic, a role model to so many sports persons and others, and a really, really nice person. So business in KwaZulu-Natal has had a really torrid time over the last 4 or so years. We had COVID, we had the floods, we had the political unrest, we had further floods. We've got challenges with the port and rail logistics. We've had load shedding. We've had water and sanitation, infrastructure challenges. We've had political uncertainty and very low growth rates. We're obviously at a very, very important stage of our politics at the moment, and hopefully following the recent elections, there'll be the political will to create a business and investor-friendly environment in the country, and particularly in KwaZulu-Natal, where it's so particularly needed. and that there will be more positivity in the environment. So many of those challenges can be addressed and tackled, so business and the economy can get up and running, and most importantly, to create the additional jobs that are so needed in KZN and the country. Take small steps every day. I think for most people, to achieve your goals and dreams, you've got to put in the work. You've got to put in the hours, you've got to put in the work, you've got to persevere. For very few people, things happen overnight. For most people, you've got to work at it, you've got to keep going, you've got to keep pushing, and hopefully over many years of perseverance, you are going to be able to achieve your goals and dreams.